Hello, this is Connie Costa from Exclusive Sicily Tours, and I am honored to have my beautiful cousin, Anna Maria Alaimo, live from Palermo. And happens to be a licensed tour guide. So, how lucky am I to have a licensed tour guide in Palermo to help me with my tours? So, thank you, welcome. And Anna Maria, do you want to say a little bit about yourself, just briefly, what you do?
Yes, of course. Ciao a tutti dalla bellissima Sicilia, and I'm so lucky also to have you as my cousin, dear Connie. Hi, everybody from beautiful Sicily. I am Anna Maria. I'm a full licensed tour guide in three languages, Italian, English, and French. I am specialized in excursions and tours all over Sicily and South Italy.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So today we're going to talk about my favorite topic, Sicily.
Of course.
So the first, that's a topic that I love. So the first question that I have for you is a question that I actually get asked a lot, and it's why choose Sicily? So a lot of people ask me, why go to Sicily? You know, what makes it so special? So I just wanted you to briefly answer, why choose Sicily?
Okay, why choose Sicily for your next vacation? There are
Yes.
so many reasons, my friend. Just think what the great Goethe visiting Sicily in the 18th century wrote. To have seen Italy without seeing Sicily is not to have seen Italy at all. For Sicily is the key to everything. Can you just figure out these words? Really great words. Sicily is the key for everything, to understand all Italy, and I think also to understand Europe, to understand an entire culture and civilization.
I mean, that is just such a beautiful quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. I would
Yeah.
have it tattooed if I could on me. To have seen Italy, and basically to go to Italy and not see Sicily is to not have gone to Italy at all. It's like, that is so powerful. And people do the opposite. They go all over Italy. I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to who say, I've been all over Italy. And I say, have you been to Sicily? And they say, no. I'm like, then you haven't been all over Italy. Don't say you've been all over Italy if you haven't gone to Sicily. So
Yeah.
with that in mind, what is your personal favorite thing about Sicily?
My favorite things here in Sicily, well, what about the warm climate, for example, the lovely beaches, the volcanoes, the breathtaking landscapes, you know very well, and of course, art and culture, Arab Norman churches glowing with Byzantine mosaics, or Greek temple columns supporting a Baroque cathedral, for example. And what about the food?
Yes. And that's the thing. It's hard to pinpoint one favorite thing, one amazing thing about Sicily, because like you said, Sicily has so many amazing things from, nature wise, the mountains, the valleys, the beautiful beaches, the lakes, the volcanoes, everything. But then there's also the culture and the history and the monuments. And then of course you go to the food, which is one of my favorite topics. Obviously, my tours are
So
specifically
bye.
food tours. Yes.
Of course, yeah.
And my tours are food tours. And it's because, in my opinion, Sicily is the best place to eat on earth. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. I mean, you could say I'm biased, but my clients, when I take them, they absolutely fall in love with the food. Um, my husband, who is not Italian, not Sicilian, also agrees that he loves the food in Sicily above even all the other parts in Italy, because we've been all over Italy, and all over Italy you eat amazing. I know that it's Italian food's the best. I mean, come on.
Yes, yes.
But in Sicily, it's just, it's special. So can you tell me what's so special about the food in Sicily?
Yes, well, the food alone here makes a trip to Sicily worthwhile, actually.
I agree.
Yeah, because because of the insularity, because of the Arab heritage or the volcanic soil, all these things have supplied the island with the richest and various cuisine. We really could talk about a great Sicilian food for hours, and this the sweet and sour of the caponata, the Arab couscous, the freshest seafood, and the best desserts ever, such as cannoli, cassata, gelato. And also in Sicily, you are not going to miss the experience of street food. Sicily has a long tradition of snacks, panelle, crocchè, arancine in Palermo, arancini in Catania, but you know, it's basically
Same
the
thing.
same great, good food. And stigiola also, why not?
Yeah.
And you know, to know how this great food tastes, my dear friends, you need to come to Sicily and enjoy good food and great wine.
Yes. Oh, the wine is,
Great wine.
the wine is something else, and it's finally becoming famous because it wasn't popular before. People didn't know that Sicily had such amazing wine. And from what I understand, Sicily used to sell, and I don't know if they still do, used to sell their grapes to France. So
Yes.
France was getting all the credit for this
Yes.
amazing wine, but the grapes were coming from Sicily. And so wherever I go in the world, if I'm in Beverly Hills or if I'm in New York or wherever I'm at, I always order Sicilian wine to make sure to give back to Sicily, but also because I just love it. It's such good wine. And especially how, again, the soils, like you said, the soil is different. Like the volcanic soil in, in the Mount Etna region
That makes the difference.
makes
Yes.
such a difference. And just like, and the food is all, there's so much in Sicilian food, like you were saying, from the pastries to the gelato to the fish to the meats to the pastas. So it's not just one thing for Sicilian food, it's everything. It's
Definitely.
hard for me to tell my clients what to eat first because I want them to eat everything, and I don't know what to tell. I want them to eat everything because it's just so
You
good.
cannot choose.
I don't know. You cannot choose, and you cannot eat. I mean, I have them eating like, you know, they are so full by the end of the day, but they feel so good. They don't, it doesn't make you feel sick. You don't feel
That's
sick
it.
at the end
Yeah.
of the day. They're full, but
Because
happy
it's
full
healthy
because
food.
it's healthy food. That's the
Healthy.
key. That's the key. I would
So healthy.
so healthy. I wouldn't be able to eat the way I eat in Sicily. I wouldn't be able to eat here because there everything is, organic and healthy and fresh. Everything is so fresh.
Fresh and
And
organic.
so you
That's it.
can eat pasta and bread and all this stuff that here I would be really full and sick and it would make me gain a lot of weight. But there it's
Yeah.
so fresh and fresh ingredients, simple ingredients. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. We could talk a whole thing about food.
You eat what you want. You don't even gain weight here because
No,
it's real good food
yeah,
and healthy food.
yeah, you're right. My clients lose weight most of the time. And they
Because
eat so
you
much.
eat real food.
Real food, exactly.
Real
So
good food.
can you give me a brief description on the history of Sicily and why it's so unique? Just a brief
Yeah,
description.
unique. It's fascinating to know the range of monuments that illustrate its complex history. Very complex. The first settlers were the ancient people known as the Sicani, Ticuli, Elimi, ancient people. And then the Greeks, the Romans, the Carthaginians, they came and left their strong influence. Again, Byzantines and Arabs and Normans and French people and Spanish domination.
Everyone.
And just, yeah, yeah, everyone. Just figure out what an incredible merge, what a sort of, we could call it a melting pot. Sicily, really a great melting pot this island was and still is nowadays. And if you love archaeological sites, you will surely fall in love with the Valley of the Temples or Selinunte, Taormina, Siracusa, Piazza Armerina. For example, Arab Norman monuments in Palermo, Monreale, Cefalù, and they will capture your attention and fill your heart with a pure beauty. And the Sicilian Baroque cities will welcome you with an incredible architecture made of stone and poetry, as I always say, not only stone, but also poetry.
And that's the thing that makes, one of the things that makes Sicily so unique is, like you said, so many different cultures, have lived in Sicily.
Yes.
So it's such a unique place where you can see, Greek temples and then an Arab mosque. I mean, there are not many places where you can see that, where you can see a merging of cultures. And I love this.
Not at all.
No, and this is your expertise. This is why I have you for my groups, because this is what you're an expert. You went to school. And just for people who don't know, you can't just call yourself a guide in Italy. You have to be a licensed guide. You have to go to school. You have to go to school for so many years. And I remember seeing you years ago study, and your books were gigantic. They were as big as my house.
Yeah.
I remember, and you had to learn all of that, and you graduated with honors. So you really know your stuff, and
I do know.
You do know your stuff. And so this is your expertise. It's just like the history. And so who better than you to know the history of Sicily and how unique it is, and how because of that, everything has been influenced, the food and the buildings and the churches. It's so fascinating, especially for people who are history buffs, people who love history. This is the place to go, just so you could just be in awe that this is even possible, that it's even possible to have all these beautiful cultural sites in one place.
That's true.
My next question to you, which is a question that I get asked very often, is Sicily safe?
Well, if you ask me if Sicily is safe, well, I can assure you that yes, this island is a safe place to travel and to live in. I actually am Sicilian. I do live in Sicily, and it is a quite safe place. People here are warm-hearted, and they are always willing to help you and make you feel comfortable and welcomed. Sicily is not a dangerous place, my friend, not at all. And there is no higher chances of being harmed here than anywhere else in the Western world. And do not bother that much about mafia. That, I know it's a great topic, but it only exists perhaps in great, literature and books, and it's not that mafia anymore. Absolutely. So yes, Sicily is a safe place.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of ignorance out there when it comes to that topic.
Yes, it is.
And
when it comes to talking about Corleone, which is a very beautiful city with 100 churches and incredible archaeological sites and beautiful museums, people just, they're astonished to see how different Corleone really is, and because books talk about other things that do not exist. That's not the real Corleone.
No, and I mean, I blame the movie. We already know what movie it is. Unfortunately, that movie, to me, when people ask me if I like it, I understand that it was a very well done movie, but unfortunately, in my opinion, this is Connie Costa speaking, I feel like it did more harm than good. Because people now Sicily has a stigma that
that's my opinion too,
that it's a dangerous place. It's just full of people with rifles walking around, and also I don't feel like, I feel like the movie depicted just one part of Sicily, not the whole, he purposely, depicted just, houses that were like on the verge of falling, and not the most attractive parts of Sicily, which there's a little bit of everything everywhere, right? And that has its charm, and I love it as well. I love the old buildings, I love the old houses, I love that too. But there's so much more to Sicily that was not portrayed in the movie. But most of all, this idea that it's violent and that there's just people, with rifles going around, and, people really do ask me that often, is it safe? I heard it's extremely dangerous. And what I tell people is, educate yourself, even just a simple Google search of the most dangerous cities in Italy. You'll find that, number one is Milano, followed by Bologna and like Rome and Florence. These are
not Palermo or Catania.
Palermo.
Definitely.
And I have always felt very comfortable in Sicily. I've traveled alone all over Sicily. And the truth is, you have to be careful anywhere you are. So I'm always surprised when people from Los Angeles ask me if it's safe. I'm like, do you understand Los Angeles?
Talking about Los Angeles. I mean, you are talking about Los Angeles.
Exactly. I mean, people I'm like, wait a minute, like I feel more unsafe here in Los Angeles than I do in Sicily. So there
Yes,
is a lot of ignorance out there when it comes to Sicily. It is
yes,
extremely safe.
yes.
Be smart when you travel, no matter what. Be smart. Of course, things happen, but
Yeah,
things
that's it.
happen
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Things,
Keep your eyes open, be smart, and take good
yeah.
care of yourself. That's it. But everywhere,
That's
not
everywhere. That's in Rome. That's in Florence. That's in
everywhere,
Paris. That's in
everywhere.
anywhere. Anywhere you go, any major
That's it.
city. Yes, be careful. Be cautious.
Yeah.
That's just good advice. Period. So, no, I would never tell people to be extra cautious in Sicily. I'm sorry, and I've never had any of my clients say that they felt unsafe or that they felt scared. You
You.
know,
I've been
and
working so many years since I've never ever had any problem, any trouble bringing my clients in the Palermo, in the markets, in the popular markets all over Sicily. Never
yeah,
ever. People are respected. There's a great amount of respect towards the clients, the visitors, the
yeah,
tourists. They're
yeah.
welcome.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree. So, is it worth going to Sicily, in your opinion?
Yes, it is. Definitely. It is worth coming to Sicily. Sicily has an incredible amount of different attractions for friends who come over. We have so many UNESCO World Heritage Sites, splendid Baroque churches and palaces, great medieval castles also, and such Edice, which is beautiful, stunning, beautiful small islands such as the Aeolian Islands, Salina, Lipari, Vulcano, or the Egadi, Favignana, Levanzo, Marettimo. You will enjoy the popular food markets in Palermo,
Oh yeah.
like Ballarò, Capo, but also the popular markets in Catania or Siracusa. You will be astonished by the beauty of the Byzantine mosaics, the Pantocrator in Palermo, Cappella Palatina, the cathedrals in Monreale and Cefalù. You have the chance to discover, for example, if you are interested, outstanding collections of prehistoric and classical archaeological remains. We're talking about the museums of Agrigento, the Museum Griffo, in Siracusa, the Museum of Paolo Orsi, or at Palermo, the Museum of Salinas, or at Lipari, with the Archaeological Museum. You know, in Sicily, you have the chance to admire more ancient Greek temples than in Greece.
Yes, that's true.
There's
That's
more temples
crazy.
here in Sicily
And
than
better
in
preserved. And they're better preserved. Yeah.
yeah, so it's better preserved, yeah.
Yeah.
And you will never, this is, I promise to you, you will never ever get tired of admiring stunning landscapes, the
Yeah.
seaside, beaches, marinas, the volcanoes, lakes, mountains. Never. You will never get never tired of it.
I mean, you already answered it, but here's my next question is, what makes Sicily different than the other regions in Italy?
Yeah. You know, you come here and you just see the difference because of the cultures that have merged in the centuries and in the millenniums. So you feel and you can see there is a different aura, and it is only here in Sicily, Monreale, Cefalù, the street food, the beauty of Baroque, such as Noto, Modica, Ragusa, Oriental Sicily is an incredible philosophy with its architecture. And you cannot leave Sicily, for example, without a close look of the greatest active volcano in Europe, Mount Etna. It's always smoking, and you know, Sicily is the once in a lifetime experience. It really, really is a once in a lifetime experience. And you know, my dear Connie, my dear friends, I'll be glad to introduce to you my happy island, the island of the sun. Venite in Sicilia. Come to Sicily.
Yay,
Come to
yes.
Sicily. We're waiting for you.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to add, or you're good?
Well, just
Come to Sicily.
Sicily, because we can, you know, we can still talk about Sicily for really for hours and days.
I know. And you're so good at it. You're so
But
good at it. And
you really need to experience Sicily with your eyes and
Yes.
let Sicilian beauty enter your heart and fill your soul. Only this is the advice I can give you. Just come and visit Sicily and get to know one of the most beautiful islands in the world. To me,
And
the most beautiful, of course.
to me too, by the way, to me too. I think we know that. And I think that's what, just hearing you speak, it makes me realize why I strongly believe that a guided tour is so important because, when people just kind of create their own tour by themselves, relying on the internet and
Yeah,
relying on the opinions, I always call it, the blind leading the blind. You
yeah,
don't have, people who are as passionate as you and I, who, you were born and raised there,
yeah.
and who, and then all the knowledge that you actually went to school for this. So the internet cannot provide all of this. It's just
I
impossible.
agree with you. Yeah,
And
I
so
agree.
this is why I'm so passionate about the tours that I do, and why I get, stressed from seeing people kind of, they think they're going to save money, but they're not. They
Yeah,
create their own itinerary, and then, they come back and I ask them, oh, did you get to see,
yes.
whatever, La Cattedrale di Palermo? And they'll say, no, I didn't. Like they have
Oh
no
my
idea where to go. Like, and I'm like, what did you do? Like, how did you not know? It's because they're, following advice from the blind leading the blind. They don't know what they're doing.
and you risk to miss the best
Yeah.
because a guided tour, of course, will give you the best of the territory.
Yes, because we know where to go. We
Yeah,
know where to take you. And then
yeah,
having you on board, that's why I feel so lucky and so honored, because I have you to explain everything to them in detail so that they
yeah.
can get the history, which is really important.
It is.
Because it is, to understand the land, to understand where you're standing. Okay, it's not enough to
Yeah,
just go into a church. What's the
yeah,
history of this church?
yeah,
Why did
yeah.
they even create this church? And to hear you, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to hear the history, to hear all the story behind it. And so, again, I highly, that's why I do what I do, is because I want to make sure, I want to take people to Sicily, because I want to make sure to connect them with people like you, and people who are the best of the best restaurants, the best places to
Yes.
eat, not the most famous, not necessarily
Yeah.
the most famous,
Uh-huh.
the best of the island, because I want you to have the most incredible experience and feel like a local, and feel like Anna Maria and I have adopted you into our family. Some of my clients feel like now they're
Yeah,
related to you. They love
yeah,
you so much. They
yeah,
feel
that's
like they're
true.
really,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we've been experiencing this in the last years. So yeah,
Yes. So
yeah.
anyway, so thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me. I appreciate it so much. And for everybody who was watching, thank you so much. And please contact me, Exclusive Sicily Tours, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about our beautiful island. Thank you, Anna Maria. Love you so much.
Thank
Ti
you.
voglio bene.
Ciao,
Ciao.
ciao. Voglio bene.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Ciao.